Hello guys. Today we're talking about Alien 3, or Alien to the Third, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it. um, man, this movie's kind of a mess. This movie came out in 1992. It's rated R. It's an hour 54 long. Has 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb with about 300,000-ish, 331,000-ish user votes. And it's 59% on Metacritic with 192 critics. The movie is directed by David Fincher, who would go on to direct Seven. It stars Sigourney Weaver from the other Alien stuff, and Charles S. Dutton, who was also been in A Time to Kill. The movie on Rotten Tomatoes has 44% by critics with 126 critics and 46% by audiences with 250,000-ish audience people. Critics' consensus is Alien 3 takes admirable risk with franchise mythology, but far too few pay off in a thinly scripted sequel whose stylish visuals aren't enough to enliven a lack of genuine thrills. It is available to stream on Hulu and all the other combinations Hulu has with other streaming services, like Disney Plus and Max and whatever. It's also available to rent and buy on Amazon, Apple TV, and Microsoft Store. The movie was released on DVD in 1999. So this movie. So here's the biggest thing with this movie. In all honesty, on a technical level, I wouldn't call it dreadful. It just makes me mad because it takes how Aliens ended and just is like, nope the fuck out of it. And it just, I'm not happy about it, and a lot of people aren't. A lot of people don't like this movie, but there is a minority that vehemently defend this movie, especially the director's cut of this movie, which I don't think I saw the director's cut. I think I saw the normal cut. I can't say for sure, but I think it was the normal cut. But here's the problem with this movie too, is that the behind the scenes stuff, it was not very good, because David Fincher, this is his first film, no pressure, right, of directing, and he had to butt heads, but the producers of this movie were super controlling, so they couldn't really do anything, really, not really. Like, he couldn't really make the film his own, not necessarily. I mean, the most iconic shot of the movie of the alien, like, breathing down on Sigourney Weaver, and she's, like, huddled back like that. Like, he had to sneak that shit in. Like, when the producers weren't looking, he stole a camera and he shot that scene himself. Because he wanted to shoot that, but the producers wouldn't let him, so he had to do it and sneak it into the movie without them noticing. Like, if you have to fight that hard to get your shit in your own goddamn movie, that's a bad deal there. But yeah, it's just, and I read there were other script ideas for this. I don't know if those would have made this film better necessarily, but I don't know. There's just something about this movie that just doesn't sit right with me. And here's the thing, I like the premise of the world that she's landed in, about it being very hardcore criminals and kind of religious overtones and stuff, but I don't know if it fits with Aliens. But here's my other thing too, some stylistic choices too, like having everyone be shaved and all that. Almost everyone's British, so everyone almost kind of sounds and looks the same to a certain degree, and it probably wouldn't be as much of an issue if they just had very few individuals that they focused on a lot. But there's a lot of people there that they dart back and forth to, and it makes it really tough to actually, like, decide who's who and stuff. Special effects are rough in this film. The alien design in itself, when it is actually real, looks great as usual, but there's so many shots where technically it's not CG, it's like blue screen effects or some other kind of effects, but it looks like shit. Like, it looks awful, like, no matter which way you swing it. And And yeah, and I'm not really gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna get into spoilers on why like this thing just nopes on aliens, but it's in a way that makes you really, really, really not like this movie. And some people defend it. Like there are people that defend this as a good movie, and I'm not saying there isn't good elements in this movie. It's just I just don't see it. Because to be honest, I don't know if I would call Resurrection like super better than this, but I will say this about Resurrection: it didn't piss me off as much as Alien 3 did. And yeah, some of the stylistic choices and stuff, it's daring, but it doesn't feel like Aliens to me. Like this film, I don't know, there's just something about it where I'm just like, this probably would have been a better movie if it wasn't Aliens, you know? Or if they were gonna do all this, at the very least, like do it in a way that doesn't make the events of Aliens just be noped. I just don't get it why they went that route, other than you know other factors. And I get why, but like I said, there's other ways of doing it without making just completely crapping on the prior movie, a movie that's a million times better than this movie. Let's be honest here. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's the worst movie I've ever seen. It really isn't. I mean, and there's still some good stuff in it. It's just, man, it's just, I wouldn't say it's a fun movie. It really isn't. It's kind of one of those movies that it's kind of one of those movies when you're binge watching a franchise where it's like, okay, we gotta watch that movie along the way because, it's in the middle of every goddamn thing. And if I'm gonna binge watch them all, I gotta watch them all. So I might as well just watch this one just to get through it, just cause. I mean, deep down, yet you're very tempted to just skip over it, and maybe one day you will, but not today. And this is one of those movies. Um, and that's and that, like I said, it's not like it's awful. Like it probably would be better to watch it with somebody than on your own, because at least you have somebody to poke fun at it with along the way, or something. But man, it just kind of this just does not make me. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know if I would have liked it or find it. I don't know if my opinion of it would increase if they didn't noped on aliens, but it would have helped, and it would have definitely made it feel a little bit more. I think it would have been less distracting, because I feel like it takes you a minute to kind of. Because I feel like by the time you finally kind of get the hang of this movie, it's too late. And in all honesty, like, I don't know, this movie just feels so like compared to like Aliens, to go to this, it just feels such like a sharp turn. Because even though Alien and Aliens were directed by two different guys, and they might as well be two different things themselves, it felt like the same world. It didn't feel like, oh yeah, this is totally different than Alien. Like, because even though 50 years have passed, so there are some things that are different, it still feels like the same world. And this one, I'm sorry, but I don't buy it like that. I really don't. Um, but yeah, overall, I mean, you kind of have to watch it, and if I would say you watch it at least once, because there is stuff in it that if you're getting into the Alien franchise, you kind of have to watch this one. But but I will say I am curious on the director's cut, seeing if that's any better. I'll have to give it a watch someday, but for now, it's probably the worst movie in the franchise, in all honesty. Like, not counting the Alien versus Predator movies, which nobody does because they're not canon to this whole thing. But outside of that, this is probably the worst one of the bunch. Some people may say Resurrection, which is understandable, but I think this is probably the worst. At least with Resurrection, at least I had. And I'll get to Resurrection in the next video, but that one's a little bit more tolerable, and I'll get to that in the next one. But yeah, overall, it's okay, I guess, but yeah, it just makes me mad. Maybe one day I can watch it with a little bit more objectivity and with the director's cut or something. But yeah, it's just kind of. But yeah, overall though, I mean, I only recommend this just for watching through the Alien stuff. I wouldn't probably normally recommend this, but yeah, it's just one of those things where it's begrudgingly recommending, which doesn't happen often, but yeah, I'm begrudgingly recommending this. But yeah, overall though, that's gonna do it for this video here, guys. Thanks for watching. In case you guys want to chat with anyone in the camping company, and you don't have I was like, sorry, my brain went there for a second. I don't know what's going with that. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this one here. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.